What's up, man? I want to talk about the top NBA rookies so far performing. Now, a lot of these guys play on bad teams, so the record will not reflect what they're doing on the court because most of these guys are in rebuilding teams that are previously bad the year before. A lot of those teams were tanking, like Atlanta, Phoenix, Sacramento Kings, Chicago Bulls. Um, Let me see another. Oh, Dallas was in that tanking business, and I'm gonna start off with Dallas with Luka Doncic. The book on him when he first came into the NBA was that he was gonna be too slow. The speed of the game, the athletes in the NBA would have been were going to be a little bit too much for him, at least in the beginning of his career, and maybe he'll be a bust or whatever. But Dallas traded with Atlanta, and they swapped picks, and I think Dallas got a pick from Atlanta, and they was able to swap picks. So Dallas ended up with Luka Doncic, and so far the kid is he's delivered. He did play in the second. They said he played in the first. I think the first hardest league in Europe. So he was already playing against professional talent when he was like 17. I think he's like 18 now. He averaging 20 points a game. Field goal percentage is 48%. That's not bad for a rookie. 39% from three. That'll get better. He's shooting 76% from the free throw line. And yes, he's playing very well at this moment. I was very impressed when I seen him against the Bulls earlier when the Bulls played Dallas at Dallas arena. He showed a level of maturity. He showed like he belonged here. You know what I'm saying? And he showed that the bright lights are not too much for him. He's used to competing against grown men and men that are stronger than him. I believe he go about 6'8". So he's a big, strong kid with a lot of skill. Yes, he's gonna make a lot of rookie mistakes. These guys are rookies, and a lot of these guys are young rookies at that. 18, 19 years old. So he's gonna have his ups and downs, but yeah, look, I pick him in my fantasy draft a lot. He delivers a lot. So to all the naysayers out there that said he was not gonna pan out, it looks like he's having a good start now. Mark Cuban is a pretty good owner for Dallas, and he's surrounding this kid with talent. They got Smith Jr. out there. They got Harrison Barnes. They have my guy from the Clippers, DeAndre Jordan. So he's surrounded with some veterans and some young talent. Matthews too, the guy that used to play for Portland. But he's out there. So I say next year they should be poised to probably fight for a playoff position, but not this year. The West is still too tough, even though some teams out West are struggling, but Dallas is not ready to be formidable just yet. But Luka Doncic, he's probably the rookie of the year so far, between him and Trae Young. So next, I'm gonna go to Trae Young. The book on Trae Young was I remember seeing him in college. I remember I didn't pick up on him until I heard that he was leading in college in points and assists, and that was the first player in college that was leading in points and assists. And I believe he finished the season leading in points and assists. A lot of people said that he was like a carbon copy of how Steph Curry plays. And I really didn't look at it like that. Him and Steph Curry games are a little bit different. When Steph Curry was in college, Steph Curry was not a pure point guard. Steph Curry really played off the ball. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't look at their games as that much alike, but they do have some similarities in the way they like to shoot the three, shoot the deep three. That's where the similarities came in on how they like to shoot the three. You know what I'm saying? Trae Young does have a passing gift. Curry can pass, but I think Trae Young is more of a willing passer. You know what I'm saying? So, but they do have some similarities in the way they like to shoot the three and the 3-point attempts. But I thought Trae Young would flourish in the NBA simply because his skill set is perfect for today's NBA. You don't have to worry about getting pushed around a lot. Can't put your hands on him. Yes, Trae Young is only about he's about 6'1", 6'2", 160 something pounds. So yeah, he won't be pushed around in today's NBA. So I knew that his skills were going to translate. I know a lot of people in the beginning of summer league, they was taking summer league so serious, calling him a bust because he didn't have a great summer league in a lot of those games. But I knew once he played with better players, Atlanta had some pretty good players in Kim Bazemore, Prince. You know what I'm saying? They got some pretty good talent out there. Now, no, they're not ready to win yet. But maybe in a year or two, as they get more people out there and they draft a little bit more talent that they can be ready to win. But yeah, I believe Trae Young is going to be just fine. He's averaging 18 points. He's shooting 42% from the field. That's not good. He's only shooting 28% from three. He got to get better on that, but he is shooting 80% from the free throw line. And he had some breakout games this year. You know what I'm saying? I picked him a couple times on my fantasy thing. My fantasy draft. He had some really really good breakout games to where I believe one game he had like 24 points and 15 assists. So his game is really predicated on him knocking down that three because the league has changed. A lot of these players take a lot of threes, which I'm not in favor of these players taking a lot of threes because a lot of these teams playing like Golden State, and they should just, you know, pick a lane that's best for their team and play to their team's strengths instead of trying to play like Golden State. But yeah, Trae Young is going to be just fine. Another one is Ayton. He's averaging 16 points. He's shooting 60% from the field, and hey, he's shooting 75% from the free throw line. That's good for a big man. Big men usually have trouble from the free throw line. Like Shaq and guys of that nature. But Aiken is the lone pure center in this draft. He has he's pretty good with his back to the basket. He can shoot threes. He can shoot from 15 feet. But I like the fact that the Phoenix Suns said, okay, we're gonna pick a guy that we want to try to get back a little bit back to the old school way of basketball where we can dump the ball into the big man, and we can have a big man that can not only guard the rim on defense, but also is a threat on offense. Can rebound real good. I believe he's about 7 feet tall, 7'1", 7 feet tall. Really good skill set. I seen him in Arizona. He was really good at Arizona. A lot of people was down on him because they got eliminated. His team got eliminated in the first round of the tournament. But yeah, he's going to be all right. It's a young, very young Phoenix Suns team, but we know with Devin Booker is their star leading the way. They got Trevor Ariza that played for Houston last year. So as they get more like same thing as Trae Young team and Luka Doncic team, as they get more talent around them, we'll see how they do in a couple years. Marvin Bagley the third, he played at Duke. I don't think he's starting. I think Luka Doncic and Trae Young and Ayton is starting. I don't think Marvin Bagley is starting yet. But he averaging 22 minutes, 12 points, shooting 50% from the field. He's a stretch four, kind of like a stretch four. You know what I'm saying? He got that stretch four type build. He's not an overpowering power forward by no means. He's a new age power forward, just stretch power forward. They can go out and shoot the three, shoot anywhere from 5 all the way out to 25 feet. And he's a pretty he's a pretty good athlete. And he's a different type. He reminds me of a Thaddeus Young, a bigger Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young, they play for Indiana Pacers. He reminds me of Thaddeus Young, where he can do a lot of things. He don't do too many things great or really good, but he does a lot of things well. And he can help you. He can help help your franchise down the line as you build a winning team. He can be one of those pieces. Now, I don't think he can be the main piece as it stands right now, but, maybe he can grow into it. But he can be a piece, though. Really, he can be a piece because he's a pretty good athlete. He can block shots. Like I said, he can do a lot of things. He can play on the ball. He can play off the ball. He can score. He can rebound. He can do a lot of things. He can handle the ball. My guy is Wendell Carter Jr., played for my Chicago Bulls. Now, in the beginning of the year, the first 2 or 3 games, I was like, man, Wendell Carter Jr., he was almost afraid to mess up, or he was afraid to, like, when they dumped the ball to him in the post, he'll pass it right out. I'm like, man, go to work. You got to go to work. Wendell Carter Jr., I wasn't really fond on the Bulls drafting him when they first drafted him, but, you know what I'm saying, the Bulls seem like they hit it out the park with Wendell Carter Jr., the last 4 or 5 games, he's played very well, rebounding the ball, scoring the ball, back to the basket. He can shoot the three. See him and Marvin Bagley the third played on Duke together, but Marvin Bagley the third got more publicity. Marvin Bagley the third was supposed to come out this year. He was supposed to go to Duke this year, but he re did something and he was able to come out last year and play with Wendell Carter Jr. So Wendell Carter Jr. was kind of overshadowed. He didn't get a whole lot of publicity, but I believe Wendell Carter Jr. has a chance to be the better pro between the two because Wendell Carter Jr. just does he does some things. See, well, Marvin Bagley don't do a whole lot of things very well. Wendell Carter Jr. does some things very well as far as rebound, block shots. He can play on the guards on the switch on the pick and roll, which is very important for a power forward and a center to do. Be able to guard the pick and roll because everybody in the NBA runs the pick and roll to death. So he's pretty good at that. So Wendell Carter Jr. in my opinion, he reminded me of a young Horace Grant with more offensive ability because Horace Grant for the Bulls, everybody that's a Bulls fan, they know Horace Grant back in the day when the Bulls won a first three-peat. He was on that first three-peat team. He was a really good defender, really good shot blocker, and just did all the little things. Now, he developed later in his career, he developed like a 15, 18-foot shot, but Wendell Carter Jr. has that now at 19. So I look for a lot of good things for Wendell Carter Jr. Just like the other teams, the Bulls are rebuilding. They got Zach LaVine leading the way. Lauren Marketing, he's hurt right now, but he's a really good player. The Bulls hit it at the park last year with him with the 7th pick, and then they got Wendell Carter Jr. with the 7th pick, and they got Bobby Portis, he's hurt. Chris Dunn's hurt, so the Bulls just got to get healthy, and we'll see how they look when all the players come back. Colin Sexton, Cleveland, got dealt the blow when LeBron James left. They drafted Colin Sexton 8 overall, and it's reports that his teammates are not happy with him. They say he's arrogant. He don't listen. They say he don't know how to play the point guard position. I really wasn't high on Colin Sexton even when he was in college. I seen a couple games when he played. He's a good player. I mean, he's a good player now. He by them saying that he don't listen and stuff like that, he has to listen to those veterans because they know the NBA. And if he's not taking, advice from people to get better, I don't know how good he can be. But he has the athleticism, he has the size, he has the quickness, he has the energy, the exuberant confidence in himself to do that. So we'll see down the line how Colin Sexton does. Jaren Jackson from Memphis, I was high on him. This is the dude I wanted the Bulls to draft. I seen him at Michigan State. I seen a couple games. Now I did see some games where he was, he disappeared. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is he at? Is he playing? But I also seen some games where like, wow. Now this is the dude that's that Jackson guy that used to play for the Spurs. He won a title for the Spurs. He was like a 3-point specialist. But he can play. He can play. I don't think he's starting right now. I don't see a whole lot of Memphis games. I only see, like, if they play the Bulls, I'll see Jaren Jackson play. But I think he's going to be a pretty good player, man. I think he's up there with Wendell Carter in the skill set. I think they have the same skill set. Wendell Carter Jr. may be better with his back to the basket, though. But yeah, he's going to be pretty good, man. But that's my my assessment of these rookies so far. I believe Luka Doncic is the rookie of the year so far. So let me know what y'all think, man. Write in the comment sections who y'all think is the rookie of the year so far. I'm out.